It's a beautiful feeling when you see every seat in the auditorium is filled, people standing. It pains, but still it's a beautiful feeling when you see that everyone is there. Such a beautiful gathering where, as I made to understand, there are people from law, there are people from management, there are people from engineering, students, and I spend a lot of my time personally interacting with them, and that's something that I enjoy doing. When I came here, I was going through the topic, the theme of the conference. It's a large theme. In fact, when I was reading, I was looking at the words, so many words. It was tech, innovation, if I'm correct. There was management, there was sustainability, there was entrepreneurship. And actually, it's a beautiful choice of words. Again, most of the things, this topic, this theme, as I could recollect, was forward-looking. What's required 10 years ahead that I can see. So I thought I'll share some of my experiences, some of my things to these guests, to the participants. And before I start, I'll give a brief background about myself so that you know what context I come from, what are my areas that I'll be able to talk. So after my engineering management, I was 10 years into private equity investment banking, investing into the education sector. 2011, started my first startup along with a couple of founders, made beautiful tech products and gave it to teachers, academicians to use. Wide distribution, we reached out to close to 1 lakh teachers and in 2 years failed miserably. Realized that there's no usage, no adoption. And that's the hard way that I came to know in entrepreneurship, it's not necessary to have just a product built. And since one of the themes of this session, this conference is entrepreneurship, I wanted to share this. Went back to the drawing board, realized that in EdTech, education comes before technology. In 2014, started my second startup, which really took off well. We went multiple offices in India, institutions in India, as well as in US, in Malaysia, in Kenya. Around 2.5 years back, it got 100% acquired by upGrad and rebranded as upGrad Campus. upGrad, as most of you would be aware, is founded by Ronnie Screwvala, is Asia's largest higher education company. When Ronnie acquired upGrad Impartus and rebranded this, he told me, Amit, in K-12, if you look, at least students learn something because teachers, their parental pressure makes them learn something. In working professional, their employers make them learn something, but higher education is mostly broken. Everyone loves to publish reports. Around 80% of Indian students are unemployable, 85% are unemployable. No one has really done much about it. And that's one of the vision that I'm working on very closely, day in, day out. How do we actually make Indian students ready for the opportunities of tomorrow? So that's what I do at upGrad Campus. And we are delighted to partner with Lloyd Group in one of their programs to bring new age courses like digital marketing and other fields to their management students. I wanted to share a couple of things in this conference, again around the theme that resonates with me. And I'll share a story that was once, while I was into my investment days, into my job, we had invested into Manipal Group. And Mohandas Pai was telling this incident or this whole journey with me. He's one of my mentors, and I'll share that because I think that's very apt for today's audience, today's students. If you really go back in time, in history, actually before 18th century or even before, man was a hunter. The really powerful thing was your physical capability. If you had good physique, that means you were a good hunter and that made you powerful. So the real skill that was required was physique and speed and physical attributes. Come 18th century, what happened was there was an industrial revolution and machines came. And machines were 100 times more powerful than a physique of a human being. Suddenly, physical attributes were no longer required. Man was no longer hunter or warrior. And immediately, the thing that was needed was your knowledge of tools, knowledge of things, knowledge to how to operate machines. And if you see, the whole 18th century, 19th century, the education system also evolved around that. Then come 19th century, the whole IT revolution happened. And we can see today the impact of IT revolution, where knowledge was not important. You being aware of certain thing is not important. You can Google and get it. What became important was application or intelligence. And all the top companies shifted from manufacturing organization to IT companies, the FANG or MANGs that we call it today. And now, as we are sitting today in this decade, there's further advert of artificial intelligence. So IT plus artificial intelligence. Now even intelligence and application of knowledge is not important. In a decade, computers or artificial intelligence would be there, which would be 10 times more powerful. So what is it that will be required? You as students, when you are preparing for future, what are some of the things that is required? And I was having this discussion with Mr. Mohandas Pai, and he was sharing his views. There are 3 key core areas which you as young learners who are preparing for future should focus on. One is entrepreneurship and risk taking. You need to think beyond, you need to think about the ability to take risks. Gone are the days when risk taking is seen as gambling and is seen negative. When I say risk, it doesn't mean gambling, it means understanding the risk and your ability to take risk. Second is innovation. How can you innovate which is not there today? And that is very important in today's age. And third bit is creativity. How can you as an individual be creative around everything that's happening around you? These are some of the qualities, some of the skills that will make you important or relevant 10 years ahead. And would actually make, these skills would make you very powerful, or the next set of leaders that we'll see emerging would come who are great into these skills. So moving ahead, what at upGrad campus and upGrad we focus on is making leaders of tomorrow. And certain things that I typically talk about many of these things in graduating batches. I interact with a lot of graduating students, I talk about it. But I thought a very gist of it I'll share with you. While you are building yourself, don't focus on one of the key skills. Yes, it's important to be specialized, but as you are moving ahead, try to be a 360-degree individual. Try to focus, because in tomorrow's world, it's very important that you can't be only tech focused, you can't be as a only entrepreneur without having understanding of tech, or in your startups or in your jobs, you can't ignore innovation. So you need to marry all of these, some of the themes of what are present here and some of your personal choice themes, and become a 360-degree individual. As Dr. Vandana was mentioning, there are a lot of opportunities that are available. There are a lot of stories that are available. I really like the way she dictated Ratan Tata's story. And that was something everyone knows about it, but the way she presented, yes, there was something to take away from it. So I think it's very important for each of the students that are present here to actually try to become a 360-degree individual, focus on multiple things. And last 2 key points that I wanted to share with you is, one, as each of the students will get into corporate worlds in a couple of years, you need to trust in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You'll get a lot of naysayers. If you are going for innovation, if you are going for change, you'll get a lot of naysayers who will say why this is wrong. But you need to believe in your ideas. You need to believe in yourself. That will have a rub-off effect on each one of us others. Second, which is very personal to me, is when I am doing business, I am afraid of a person who shows up daily. In fact, one of my personal role model is Roger Federer. I really admire him for his ability to show up daily. Be it the days when there are highs or days when there are lows, Roger Federer would be there on the court practicing. Maybe slightly less, slightly more. Even when he's won championship or he's slightly injured, he'll show up on the court. That ability to show up daily distinguish great leaders from an average. So I think I'll encourage all of you to show up daily with passion, and the next future decade is yours. Thanks a lot.